everyone, welcome to my channel. Well, on one of my scooter rides, I noticed, a chain that had a bunch of locks on it. And two of the main ones were Master Lock number 5 and I don't know if there was a number 3 here, but I was going to demonstrate some techniques. I think they had a Master Lock 28 or something up there. I saw them. And then some combination locks. Alright, now, one of the things that starts happening if you start getting into Locksport is you start realizing that you can pick most locks. After a while, you can get into most commonly used locks that you see in places. Now, that brings up the ethical question. Should you? Just because you could, should you? Well, legally, if it's your lock or you've been given permission to do it by the owner, then you can do it. But if it's not your lock and you don't have permission, then messing with that lock is the same thing as, like, it's not technically breaking, but it's entering, You're entering an area that, in my case, a lot of times it wasn't even entering it. I'd look at something and I'd say, I wonder if I could pick that. And rather than pick that particular lock, I'd go out and buy. I'd go out and buy a Master Lock number 5. Now, there's a big difference between brand new locks and locks that have been out in the weather. Alright, now, one of the things I want to demonstrate is these little picks right here, except for this long one, I carry in my wallet. Alright, because you never know when you may need to get through a lock. And, just keep those ethical considerations in mind and stuff. Now, what I want to demonstrate here is a technique called zipping. Alright? So these little picks don't give you a lot of room, to maneuver in. But with zipping, I apply attention, or I put a tension wrench in there. I don't apply any attention to it. I go all the way to the back of the lock, lift the pick up, and pull. Now, you may have to do this a few times. You may have to change your pick. See, this is a Bogota set. It came with one side can be a tensioner and one side can be like a hook or a rake. You see how fast that is? Once you got it figured out, you got your technique and everything, I mean, that's it. It's as fast as a key. Lock that one up. It's locked. Get in there. Like I said, I apply tension, then I release it. Sometimes you can just keep applying tension. Alright, it works on that one. Alright, here's a Master Lock number 3. See, these locks are only 4 pins, so they're usually fairly easy to just single pin pick. But now, see that one? That's open. This is something that you'll encounter on locks that have been used. It'll start turning. You've already opened the lock, but you're meeting resistance. See that? You're meeting resistance. Now, this one here was an even worse shape. I couldn't zip it. I couldn't single pin pick it. Well, I could single pin pick it, but I couldn't zip it. And that's where some lube comes in handy. If you spray some lube up here on the pins, that'll help if you've got any stuck pins or anything like that. And then also you need to spray the core also, the outer core, a lot of times. And then once you get the lock open, put a little lube in there too, on the locking pawls if you can. Alright, so the moral of the story is not all locks are the same. Not all techniques work on all locks. This is just one that, ow, you see that? that little piece right there digs right into my hand when I try it. This is more artistic type of stuff. This pick came out of a Chinese pick set. That's pretty good for raking. I don't know if this one's gonna rake. I'm just gonna try to single pin pick it. Gonna make a fool out of me. There we go, I raked it finally. You just have to be persistent with it. Alright, so it worked on all three of those. We'll work on this. This is a M5, a Masterlock M5. I don't know. I haven't tried zipping it in a while. Usually I single pin pick these things. See, and what we're doing is we're causing the pins to bounce up and down while applying tension. And this is kind of the same as like an electronic lock pick. You know, they go through and they vibrate the pins up and down, and once you reach the shear line, it's a lot of times it's technique with your tension too. How are you tensioning your, you know, your lock? But all I just want to say on that is the ethical thing, the moral thing to do is, just because you can pick a lock doesn't mean you should. Let me get in here with this guy. Practice. You know, if somebody gives you permission and says, you know, hey, I can't get this gate key open, you know, it's been here for a long time, I was just gonna cut it, you know, and you can say, hey, before you cut it, if you give me a chance, let me see if I can pick it for you. And he may not, you know, because a lot of times these things get rusted. I don't know why I'm trying to mess with that one. I was just going to show you an example. It's not always going to work on all locks and everything. It just depends. But you've got a much better chance of zipping open a master lock, 4-pin lock, than you do any other one. See, you've got pretty good bidding on this one. Low key, couple of high keys and low key. To get that, to set these guys are high, you have to get past this guy, and if you're using them, you can overset pins. If you overset a pin, alright, this guy's like a Masterlock number 5. He's got like pebble finish and everything. Sometimes you have to use a combination, you know, like raking and zipping, because what I usually do with the lock is I try to get into it with a pick. And whether I'm using a Bogota or a rake or a hook or whatever, if I can get into the lock one way, then I try every other way that's possible to get in that lock. Lock bypasses like shimming. Now, shimming doesn't work on these Masterlocks as well because of the way that is cut out in there, and because of the way this lip is right here. When you put a piece of metal in and try to bend, you're trying to get in between that edge right there and this edge. And the way they've cut these and stuff with the Masterlock, they're not that easy to shim, but there are so many ways of getting into a Masterlock that it isn't even funny. Now this one, like here, like I said, it's tricky. Sometimes I can get it open quickly, and then other times it just fights me like crazy. So again, it may be that a pin is stuck or whatever, or it's just getting, I can feel it kind of gummy in there. So watch your eyes whenever you do this. Anybody that's ever sprayed stuff like this knows. Don't spray real hard. And enough of that's flowing around, it's getting the shackle and everything. And then I'll put a tension wrench back in here. And I'll try zipping again. Really, if you know what you're doing, you can get by with a tension wrench and a hook on most stuff. Bogotas really come in handy if you know how to use them. They have a good chance of breaking. Bogota. you just kind of like jiggle. Now see, that puts a lot of stress on the pick when you do that. And you got the weight of the lock. See, it's not the Bogota. And then you can turn this upside down. See how these are more gradual? And you can do kind of a raking motion. You put it in the keyway, and then you go up and down, jiggle, jiggle, back and forth. And if it doesn't work, try something else. You know, to me, this is like a puzzle. This is why I like Locksport. It's just like a puzzle. To solve this puzzle, you have to get everything just right. And once you get it just right, it's like, wow, that was fun. Until you get it just right, it's not fun. I don't find it a lot of fun. I find it frustrating a lot of times. Like, dang it. You know, yeah, the thrill of finally getting it over. See, I got keys. I can open anytime I want. But it's just teaching yourself stuff, because a lot of this is how much tension you're applying. Are you applying enough? Are you not applying enough? Feeling the pins when you push on them. What are they doing? You know, we apply tension. We look for one of them that's binding, because the other ones are going to be loose unless you've got too much tension. Then they'll all be binding. But like I said, it's a technique, it's a trick. It's just one of the things that you can use. Like I said, that if it works, it's faster. It's much faster than single pin picking. See, that one's open again. See how much that's turned? But I'm getting a lot of binding in there. That's because this is an older lock that, you know, has had some weathering to it. So there you go. Like I said, don't get yourself in trouble by picking on locks, you know, that are not yours, even though it's tempting. You know, you may be out in the country, nobody's around. Here's this lock just sitting here, and it's saying, pick me, pick me, pick me. And you may want to do it, you know, but then there could be cameras, you know, watching you. Somebody could be observing you and everything. And then all you got is a lame excuse of, I just wanted to see if I could pick the lock. Well, that's just like saying, I just want to see if I could break into the place. Yeah, you can, but it's not legal. So anyways, there you go. I mean, it's up to you. You know, I'm just trying to say, keep it legal when you're messing with locks. You can have a lot of fun with a lock. I don't know how much money I paid for this lock, but it teaches me things every time. And of course, I've got way too many locks. I've got so many locks, and it's just because I like having inventory. I like having different examples of stuff to try. You know, I'm out in the wild and I see something, and I'm like, I wonder if I can get into that. Now, with the combination lock, that one would be easier, much easier to visually decode, or to decode in other ways. There's little shims you can use. But anyways, I'm getting beyond the scope of this video. So thank you for watching. And if you are interested in any Locksport, just look at my Locksport channel, William Mansell. And I've got over 1,000 videos of me learning how to pick locks, basically by trial and error. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.